Deciding on colour and painting in colour can be really daunting. What shades, what tones, how strong, how light do I go, what works best for timber can be really overwhelming. Today's video is all about having fun with colour. I'm going to be taking this vintage dresser and showing you how to respectfully paint it with a 2023 trending colour. Benjamin Moore and Pantone have a colour that I think will be perfect for this vintage dresser. It's a purple lilac tone, and Benjamin Moore calls this colour New Age, and Pantone has this colour called Grey Lilac. Using these two colour guides as my inspiration, I'm going to be using Sloan's Paloma to achieve this colour look. If you're interested in seeing how this trending colour translates, continue watching. Hi friends, hope you're doing well today. So in today's flip, I'm going to be working on this cute little vintage dresser that I picked up for $120. So it's a little bit more than I would spend, but because the condition of this timber is really good and I'm keeping the original hardware, it's going to be really low cost. All I'm going to be using is Sloan's chalk paint in Paloma, and this is a great sort of pink lilac colour that's going to work really nicely with this oak top. And then I'm just going to seal that with wax, probably do a bit of a distressing. So let's get to work. You'll find a lot of these vintage drawers have these little button covers. Definitely prefer to use a Stanley knife, but I don't have one. So what you want to do is flick out these little caps. So usually there'll be a slight opening in an area that you can put through your sharp Stanley knife. The way I keep track of where this belongs is getting a piece of paper and then wrapping that inside. Now that we have all of that labelled, next step is to remove this little back detailing. Thankfully they have an easy screw access that I can get this out. These things are so tricky sometimes to move. The screws are usually so old, and they always seem to use a force head, which I absolutely hate. I wish they would just use screws. So you could sand this, but just that would take so much time, so I'm definitely going to be painting that. And I think it's going to be a nice little contrast between the exposed timber top and then the painted body as well. So next we get on to sanding. Here's the timber top all sanded down and ready to be sealed. So to make sure that I'm going with the right colour, which I do feel it is the right tone, I'm going to protect the top first, because if you're working with raw timber and you're either keeping it original or staining it, it's always a good idea to do that top stain first before painting. That way you get a better indication of the colour that's going to be complementing it. You can see with that coat, it's a lot richer than the raw side. So when you're choosing colours, it can make quite a big difference with what complements the wood tone. So it's a very rich, warm oak, and I think that will still go quite nicely with this cool sort of pink lilac. So now we can get on to the waxing. Gilly's Cabinet Maker's Wax, and I find this is great because it keeps the colour and it protects really well. So there's two ways you can apply this. One is using an old chalk paintbrush. And I find going in circular motions first. Get into the porous chalk paint. And then brushing up and down. Make those everywhere. And then take your clean paint-free cloth. Just wipe. So you can see the difference between waxed and unwaxed. Just adds a bit more depth and richness to the colour, but doesn't change it, just gives it a bit more depth. And then the other way of applying it is using length-free cloth and then doing the same motion. I do find the brush gives me more coverage and it's a faster application as well. Before touching these back on, I'm just going to give these dust. And a bit of a clean. So I quite like the natural patina, so I don't want to clean that off or spray paint it gold as that would stick out too much. I do see some people boiling this in vinegar, but I do really like the natural aging that happens with use over time, so I like to keep it safe. So first thing to make sure this sits centered, and then you've got to take the other side, make sure you've got it facing the right way, and put it directly into the other loop. absolutely love how this makeover turned out. As you can see, you don't have to be afraid with painting with colour. It really is a great way of injecting personality and character into a furniture piece. And if you're brave enough, even using this on a wall would be amazing. I actually did paint my parents' room in a soft lilac. Can't remember what the colour was, but it actually is a really soothing colour. I hope this video has inspired you to be bold with colour and have some fun. And using trending colour guides as an inspiration point is a great way to start when you're in doubt or unsure of what colour to go for. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next flip.